Customers should choose bluefrog because of our focus on integrity. We don't upsell, we offer solutions. My name's Tom Lilly and I joined bluefrog in 2022. Welcome to a day in the life of bluefrog. I work late, so I sleep a little late. I wake up a little after 7, and we'll have breakfast with my family. I'll get my daughter off to school. My wife and I walk her every day. My wife and I have gotten a pretty good rhythm where after I put my daughter to bed, I might do a little bit more work at night and just kind of catch up on the day. But I set the day before I leave for the office, make sure all the right pieces are in place, and so I can come home and be here when my daughter is here. Bluefrog franchise has afforded me a lot of flexibility, and in that I don't have to be in the office day to day. Team start is pretty easy. I just say good morning and sit at my desk while they're doing their thing.
Okay, so his 2 o'clock can't go any earlier, maybe 1:45, but it's here in Highlands Ranch, so we're wondering if you should go help Jason at the Regal Theater down at South Glen.
I chose a franchise model because it's a business in a box. On day one, we had the resources that we needed. We had a website, we had booking software, we had a phone system, we had a marketing team. We had all the tools that we would need. Another reason I started a franchise was because it's a business that can operate without me. And so it became evident that it's a bit of a retirement plan. You know, I don't think we live in a society or in a world now where we work until 65 and quit working. You know, retirement looks different. And so I joke that I'm semi-retired because I semi-retired from real estate, I'm semi-retired from plumbing. So now I can sort of enjoy the fruits of my labor over those years. The bluefrog franchise was an accident. During COVID, when they had us shut down, all we could do was make phone calls. We couldn't go into houses. An old friend of mine, an old colleague, and I were talking about sort of the next phase of our lives and careers and how do we transition out of working day to day and full time. And so we did 3 months of due diligence, and we're a bit slow movers, but we really wanted to investigate not just bluefrog, but owning a franchise overall. Yeah, I had no experience in plumbing. I thought I knew a little bit about plumbing. My wife and I buy rental properties and remodel them, so I know how to fix things under a sink, but once we got started, I knew nothing. So it was really just a very steep learning curve. Growth was pretty strong. I was actually surprised when we got started on day one, how often the phone started ringing. You know, the very first day it rang a couple of times and our plumber would go out and do a job and then come back to the office and wait for the next job. But within about 3 weeks, he was out of the office all day doing jobs. Bluefrog has helped me succeed by providing the tools and the resources necessary. And so from day one, we were off and running and really had not run a business before. So they provided all the tools in place to get going from the very start. As we've grown, they offered more resources to accommodate that growth, you know, whether that's just focusing on our scale or focusing on our efficiencies, because it's not just about, you know, doing plumbing jobs and generating revenue. It's about profit as well. You know, where can we perform better? We're going to a job site to meet one of my technicians to discuss a job with a homeowner. I think my proudest moment is just providing a livelihood for somebody, you know, creating jobs for the community. And it's fun to watch them step into these roles and grow. None of us had any plumbing background in the office before we joined on to the plumbing company. I certainly didn't have plumbing background. My ops manager had no plumbing background. And we learned as we went. And so it's fun to see them, you know, kind of learn about plumbing, how to resolve problems, how to manage customers, how to watch the books to make sure that the revenue is coming in. I think one of the greatest rewards for me was that I no longer dread Sunday afternoon knowing that Monday morning is coming. When I was in the corporate world, Sunday afternoon was just a huge weight on my shoulders, and I knew that I had to just get through the next week. I knew that week by week, if I could just handle each week. Now work is fun. You know, when you work for yourself, I think work becomes fun. Your job becomes your baby. You know, you have to nurture it, you have to raise it, and really it's fun to watch it grow. And it's fun to see everybody else succeed. I take a lot of pride in employing people and giving them a good paycheck and watching their growth, and really could not imagine working for anyone again, being a W-2 employee. It gives me a bit more flexibility, gives me freedom, and the nice surprise is that it gives me a very healthy income.